let's look at the division, the AFC South. And there are two AFC South teams that are feeling themselves, and there's one absolute dumpster fire. And the Indianapolis Colts, they thumped the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins kind of have some warning signs of being an absolute dumpster fire. If you put a gun to my head and ask me, does Mike McDaniel make it through the season?
Hell no.
I'm at least thinking no, but then it's a disaster out there. So I don't know how much stock I put into what the Colts did. Jags, same thing, not a great team that they beat. How are you feeling about the other divisions? Have your thoughts changed? Do you at least have a little bit more attention on either one of these teams? Where are you at there?
Well, the biggest fear was if Indianapolis somehow, some way, they had a quarterback. And Daniel Jones having one good day against the Miami Dolphins, that doesn't change my overall opinion of Daniel Jones, but he looked pretty good in what I saw and used his legs, which was a weapon that he used a lot when he did have that one good season. So I like the Colts roster. Like, they have players of note and they have enough as long as they got the quarterback play necessary to win. If he's a good quarterback, then they're a much more dangerous team than any of the other teams in the AFC South. Much more dangerous.
Yeah, and you talk about the quarterback there. I think we got to start wondering about the quarterback in Jacksonville too. And that's really what I want to look at. And because I'm not sitting here saying that I'm like a Liam Cohen stan, but I do like the way this guy moves. I like his body of work. And I heard this, and I know a lot of people probably have Brian Thomas in fantasy, and you see one catch for 11 yards, and you're like, what the F's going on? You don't get many descriptions more in depth than this. Listen to this effing guy.
I think we tried to get him a touch on the first or second drive of the game. First play of the game, right? We don't convert it, throw him a screen, low, doesn't come down with it. And then the flow of the game, we missed him on a in-breaker, which he had a lot of room to run. Missed him on a corner route where he was fairly open. And then missed, had the one on the out of bounds. So you're talking about that's 5 catches right there that gets him into the flow of it.
I mean, that is about as in depth as you can go with Liam Cohen. He's calling out Trevor Lawrence. Now, I don't know if it's going to help because I feel like Doug Peterson did the exact same thing. I don't have it in front of me, but I feel like Doug Peterson called out Trevor Lawrence for throwing the ball all over the place. And it just kind of seems to be kind of a trend, but I like this guy, man. I think he might be a really good coach. And I think Shane Steichen's a good coach. So I think there's 2 good coaches in the AFC South right now. There's 3. D'Amico's a really, really good coach too. So I think the coaching in the AFC South is nice. And I don't think that was the case with O'Brien. O'Brien had to deal with Gus Bradley, Mike Mularkey, his buddy Doug Marrone, who had, the one good year. The coaching in the AFC South hasn't always been stacked, but I think it's pretty damn good. And the craziest stat about Shane Steichen that I threw out today, in 35 games, regular season, I know the Texans have won 2 divisions and 2 playoff games. The Colts have won 2 fewer games than the Texans, with Gardner Minshew, Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones, and whatever the hell else they had to put out there at quarterback last year.
You said Gardner Minshew.
Minshew. They
play Ellinger one time.
They've played a lot of guys, and they have 2 fewer wins, and they were a drop pass away from winning the division. So the question becomes well, is Daniel Jones good? I think you just look at how they did with Minshew and can they duplicate that? I think Shane Steichen's got something going there.
Flacco.
Oh yeah, the ghost of Flacco.
They had Flacco too.
He sucked there.
He's better than Anthony Richardson.
So I say all that to say Tennessee has the worst coach in the NFL. And he is an absolute idiot. Remember when the stanky one, Amy Adams Stank, said, we got to get out there. We got to fire Mike Vrabel because we want to go out there and get our first pick at head coach. And it's like, damn, are they hiring Belichick? Where are we going with this? Let's see where this is going. Yeah, they hired Bill Callahan's son.
I'm telling you, I've been telling you for 2 years. This guy's a nothing burger. He has no presence. He has no vibes about him. There's nothing about him that is impressive.
Well, you want to hear this? Because this is pathetic. And Paul Kaharski is coming for his throat because he tried to big body Paul Kaharski, who's basically Paul Kaharski is basically John McClain in Tennessee if John McClain were a miserable asshole. Like that's what Paul Kaharski is. Like that's an accurate representation. If John McClain were a miserable, sometimes obnoxious asshole, he would be Paul Kaharski. Here was Paul Kaharski though, and Callahan tries to punk him. Now the play that they're talking about, A.M. Maynor from Stanford catches the ball on the sideline, the elbow hits. Most people who watch football, I would assume, definitely most people in this chat know that an elbow equals a knee and a knee equals 2 feet, which means that it's a catch. Listen to this effing guy. Keep in mind, this guy came from the balls of a former NFL coach. His dad is Bill Callahan. So he's been around football his whole life. And this is what he had to say as to why he didn't challenge that play. Listen to this effing guy.
Challenge on the idle matter play where they moved out of bounds on the sideline. It looked like his elbow hit inbounds first.
Yeah, you got to get a foot inbounds too, which we didn't have a clean look at whether his foot was down as well. An elbow doesn't equal 2 feet, so his foot would have had to come down as well. We didn't have a clean look, so the call from upstairs was that it wasn't worth challenging.
All right, so it's very clear when he said that he didn't know the rule, right? Like that wasn't like a misspeak. That wasn't anything like that. Like it's very clear there. I at least on my assessment that he does not know the rule, and that's not like some misspeak. That's not like some loss. Like he's literally sitting there telling you he does not know the rule. Is that right? Is that how you took what he just said?
Correct. My understanding was that he was unaware of the official understanding of the rule.
Yes. So they come back on Monday. Think about this. And let's localize it as we always do. And it's pretty local because it's the old Oilers, it's the Titans. So I don't even want to say D'Amico Ryans because D'Amico Ryans would never do that. But like, let's say David Culley, because it did happen with David Culley before a couple of times. So David Culley says that, and then Texans fans just have 24 hours to just tee off on it and talk about what an idiot this guy is. And Titans, they have a chance to figure out, hey, coach, what are you saying? What is the deal? Here's the exchange. And Kaharski he's coming for this dude now. Here is the exchange on Monday. And this is where this guy's not making it past this year. There's a 0% chance this guy makes it past last year. This is a fireable press conference. Like they're not buying into you anymore with this. This is a fireable press conference. And by the way, no one in the media is ever going to respect you again either. And most fans aren't going to respect you either after this. Do you have anything to say before we hear this explanation? It's pathetic.
They tried to fire him in the offseason this past year, but they couldn't get anybody to take their stupid job. So they kept him. This guy's dead man walking.
Listen to this, dude. So this is how he follows it up.
And again, I know you guys are all here for the conversation about the play with Ellick and challenging the play and what I said after the game. And look, ultimately, my interpretation of the rule was wrong. I'll own it. We should have challenged the play, and that's pretty much all I can say about it. Is I'll own the mistake. We should have challenged it, and that's where it stands. So other than that, you got
yeah, okay. You think that's all you're going to get with this Tennessee media? All right, buddy. Here we go. And watch him contradict himself too, Cody. This is where he really screws up.
You guys can go ahead.
With that being said, obviously there are other people who may have been able to tell you, hey, go ahead and challenge that. What happened there?
That process and how those things get relayed, I'll keep those in house. But I'm the head coach of the football team, and my job is to make those decisions. And I didn't do a good enough job in that moment. I should have challenged it, and it probably would have resulted in a potential explosive play. So should have challenged the play.
But your interpretation of it being incorrect, the interpretation of Rob in your ear is also incorrect. He's there to correct you or counsel you, and he's also not getting it right in the moment, correct?
Again, I should have challenged play, and the communication and how those things happened are all part of the process that we got to do a better job of overall. But I'm in charge of that, and I didn't do a good enough job there. So again, I should have challenged the play.
Do you talk to players about that and what do you want them to take from that?
Yeah, I think what they should take from is the same thing I asked from them too, is to take accountability for a mistake or for a play that they didn't make or needed to make or didn't do right, and make it right. And I think that's my job as a head coach, and I'll make it right.
That rule has been in effect for a long time. I guess in retrospect, are you surprised yourself that you didn't know the correct interpretation of that rule?
Yeah, I think I got a little more clarity on it now at this point. At the end of the day, those things happen really fast. And you're starting to get ready for the next play call, and you're waiting on information from what.
Wait for this. He's about to completely lie again and make it even worse than he already did.
The look looks like. And look, I misspoke on it after the game, and I'll own that. I'm aware of the rules. I understand the rules. Just again, a mistake that I made that I gotta correct, just like I'd ask our players to.
So you say that you misspoke yesterday, but at that time you knew that one elbow equaled 2 feet.
Say that one more time.
So yesterday when you misspoke on the rule, you did know at that point that one elbow equals 2 feet.
At that moment?
Yes.
Yeah, I think at the end of the game, I was worried about a lot of the things that went wrong in the game, and the heat of the moment, the frustration of it after the game in the press conference, I think is, again, I misspoke. I'm well aware of the rule. I understand how it works. And the way that I articulated afterwards was incorrect. And, I understand the rules.
Dude.
It's like watching a guy bleed out, and then instead of cinching up the wound, he just lets it keep bleeding.
Dude,
what are you doing?
I would fire him. Like, you can't.
I'd make his dad the head coach.
Yeah, hey, Bill, you got to fire your son. We'll bring you back.
I'd like to say that earlier I misspoke when I said CJ takes the test before the play.
Yeah, it's fine, dude. That might be one of the worst that I've ever seen, like over a 24-hour stretch.
And then I misspoke, and then the guy immediately follows up with, "So when you misspoke, you knew the rule, but you just said the wrong thing, or you didn't know the rule?"
Dude, and Kaharski's coming for him like crazy.
Oh yeah, they essentially wasted a year of Cam Ward. I don't know who they would have hired or could have hired, but they wasted a year of Cam Ward.
Yeah,